This is the complete settings guide for EAFC. We asked professional FIFA players what settings they use in-game, and I'm going to be going through every visual, controller, gameplay setting to make sure you have every single setting you could possibly need to get you to the Elite Division. So to start, go to Squad Battles, and after you load into a game, press pause, go to Settings, Game Settings, and scroll over, and we'll start with Camera Settings. This is what the default camera looks like. It's super zoomed in, it's at a super weird angle, and you can't even see half the pitch at any given time. So what you want to do is change single player and multiplayer to co-op, change it to custom, and then scroll up until the height is 20 and scroll down until the zoom is 0. This will make it so the pitch is as zoomed out as it can possibly be, and it might take some getting used to at first, but this is what every single pro player uses. So trust me, go with this, and if you can get used to it, it will win you more games. Now scroll all the way down to the bottom of camera settings and turn power shot zoom off. Power shot zoom is what happens when you go to take a power shot in game, and the camera will zoom in by about 10% right before you take the shot. But the reason you want to turn this off is because power shots make you panic. As soon as you see it zoom in, you panic. You go to slide tackle, you switch players, you throw defenders in front of the ball to try to block it. But what pro players figured out is as soon as they dive and step in, you can fake the power shot. So as soon as you go to slide tackle, they fake it and then they have an easy goal. So just turn it off and you won't have to worry about panicking, and you just won't get scored on as often. And now that your camera settings are perfect, let's scroll over to the visual settings. The first thing you'll do is turn HUD to indicator and indicator to player name. This will make it so your player's name will appear right over their head and you'll know who you're matched up against in game. Next, scroll all the way down until you see playstyle plus overhead indicator and turn this on. Pros are pretty much 50-50 on this one. Playstyles are super important this year, and keeping this on will help in game, but if you have poor internet connection, it can actually make you lag a significant amount. So if you have really good Wi-Fi, keep this on so you can see your playstyles in game, but if you're using your neighbor's Wi-Fi or you're connected to the McDonald's Wi-Fi way down the street, just turn this off. Now directly below that setting, turn the evolution indicator off. Nobody cares about evolutions in game, so it's just a distraction at that point. And the next thing is scroll all the way down to score clock drop down and turn this off. Small little drop downs will appear below the scoreboard in game, and all this does is show useless stats and it blocks your view. And the last thing you want is for this to cover up some of your players and actually cost you to get scored on in game. Now go down to the online ID indicator and also turn this off. This will show your opponent's PSN or gamertag in game, and that doesn't help. It's just a distraction for you to look at in game, so get this out of here. And that is everything for the visual settings, but we still have 2 more categories to go. So scroll over to the gameplay settings because these are what really make the difference in game. So first of all, turn the preset from default to competitive. Competitive will be on no matter what, whether you're in division rivals or foot champs, so you might as well train with it and get used to it. But the first true setting you need to change is to turn time finishing on. Time finishing will allow you to green time your shots for more accuracy and power, and professional FIFA players will green time their shots almost every time. And there's actually a hidden trick to be able to do this 100% of the time, but we'll get to that later in the video. Now scroll all the way down until you get to defending, and this is where you have your first big choice to make. Most pros will use advanced defending. This allows you to choose between pressing B to do a standing tackle or holding down square to body the defender with your shoulder and move them out of the way. But this only works if you are a godly defender. It's very high risk, low reward, so unless you're already an Elite Division player or at least Division 1, I'd recommend just using tactical defending. Now scroll all the way down to right stick switching sensitivity and turn this to 5. This will make your right stick switching just a little bit faster and a little bit more accurate while you're defending. But one of the most important settings you need to change is to turn player locking on. Player lock allows you to press down both joysticks at the same time, and now you're able to control a player off the ball. This will allow you to switch players and open up for sweats, send players on runs, and get way more creative in game, so make sure you have player lock on. Next, go down until you see orbit dribbling and just turn this off, man. This is brand new this year, and it does allow you to kind of run circles around the ball without touching it, but no good FIFA player has ever used this in game. There is no purpose to it, so just turn it off so you don't accidentally do it in game. And the final gameplay setting you need to change is to turn vibrations off. The only time you want your controller to vibrate is if you're a lonely woman on a Friday night, but for regular FIFA players, it's just distracting, so we don't need that. But now the final category that we have to change is something most people actually forget: the trainer. So back out of settings, go to the first pause menu and scroll down to trainer. Now you'll need to start by turning this to show, and you want to make sure every single one of these is turned off except for 2 settings. The first one is called directed runs indicator. And this is a bit of a tricky one to explain. When you're in game, you can trigger a run by pressing down LB or L1. And when you send him on a run, he's actually going to lift his arm in the game. But as soon as he does that, you can flick the right stick in any direction you want and it'll send him on a run in that direction. And once you turn this setting on, you can see the little green arrows on the pitch showing you exactly where he's going to run. But the catch is that your opponent can't see this on the pitch. So make sure you turn this on, and when you start sending players on run all the time, you can see exactly where they're going to go and score way more goals like this. And the second setting you have to turn on in the trainer is related to the time finishing from earlier, and that's the time finishing indicator. This will make it so that when you take a shot in game, there will be a little power meter right above his head. And this will show you exactly when to press shoot for the second time so that you can green time your shots 100% of the time. So that is every single setting you'll need to be successful in EAFC. And everything else should just be left as default. But if I missed anything or you guys have any questions for me, just let me know in the comments below. But be sure to check out our corner kick tutorial, or if you want to see Matt playing against a professional FIFA player, click here. But thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe and peace.